What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first ever live streaming Modern Lending Podcast episode. You know, we've all had to pivot. Times are crazy. And man, going live on our podcast now is something we have to do because I can't bring anybody into this cool studio anymore because, God forbid, they cough on me. So I think it's so fitting right now that the first guest that we ever bring on the live Modern Lending Podcast is the one and only Josh Pitts. Now, before we bring him on, I got to say a couple things about this guy. If you don't know who Josh Pitts is and Shred Media, you're not paying attention on the internets. This guy has been a massive inspiration for so many people, including me, to just start filming. I got a small story. I was watching this guy go live every day, and I'm like, who is this guy? Why is he going live every day? And I'm watching his brand build. I'm watching his place of influence in the industry build. And I'm like, man, I got a little jealous. I'm like, dude, this guy's killing it out there. And I had this aha moment of like, wait, I can do it too. I could do this too. And Josh, I owe this all to you. So as we bring him on here and let's roll the reel and let's get Josh Pitts in the studio. We're here. We did it.
What up?
Video. Man, look, first of all, Josh, I wish you were here. Like, I wish like I could give you a fist bump and we could just do this like together. But thank you, man. Thank you for coming on the first live episode of the Modern Lending Podcast. And I want to give you a chance to kind of talk about a lot of things today, man. A lot of things. But the first is I just want to say thanks, dude. Like, seriously, thank you for having the boldness and the foresight to put yourself out in a position of vulnerability and to pull a whole industry kind of behind you. I've just watched this happen and I've been so impressed. And so I just kind of want to start with what's your background in the industry? You know, I know you do loans. I know but why did you get in front of the camera? Like what pulled you into this new world?
First and foremost, dude, I'm humbled and honored to be hanging out with you, Alec, on the first live. Dude, I've been watching what you're doing. And just before we got on, I was telling you, I'm so proud of you for your 100 video challenge that you did. I mean, look from where you started to where you are now. It's absolutely brilliant. So kudos to you. Kudos to Home Depot, everything that you're doing. I got my LD hat on today. I got the purple. I didn't even mean to match this purple going on. Like, this is awesome. This is freaking money. So, but, I mean, I'm really excited to be doing this because, you know, this is something I absolutely love doing. I have a passion for it. I love putting out great content. So I got my start in the industry. Everybody knows I'm an originator at heart. I've been in this industry for 10 years. Absolutely love it. I'll always stay in the mortgage industry. We're definitely making some pivoting right now as Shred continues to grow, as our team continues to grow, as we're seeing new opportunity. But yeah, so I've started as actually a junior LO in the industry, worked my way up, was an originator for years and years, owned my own mortgage brokerage. And then a few years ago, I just started, you know, I was traveling, going to these different conferences, and I'm just like, I want to do something different. I want to start putting out content. And it's funny that we said that you and I were talking about this earlier, but I've watched a lot of other industries. I've watched the gaming industry. I've watched other sales and marketing, just different industries. And I started seeing a lot of people put out content. Gary Vaynerchuk was one of the first guys that I'm like, this guy's putting out a ton of content. I'm like, I wonder if I can do the same thing. You know, there was people in the mortgage industry. You got guys like Ryan Hills who were putting out content with the RE source. You have people that were putting it out there, but nobody was doing it on a regular basis. So I said, well, what if you could put out a daily show? Like, what if you actually put out a show and had a new guest on every single day? Little did I know, Alec, how much work that would be, like, to get a new guest every single day and put out good content. Blew my mind. So difficult. I learned so much from it. But it was a ton of fun. And so we started with a daily LO life, just talking with originators, talking with great people in the industry.
You say that like you just like, we started with the daily LO, but like this was like, okay, break down like your kit. Because look, I know people that are checking us out on LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube right now are seeing kind of overlays and nice mics and headphones and graphics and music. But like you were like in the dirt, like with like a Nokia phone, like what was your kit when you like started doing this?
Dude, my kit was this. It was literally, and it wasn't even an iPhone. It was literally the old iPhone. Like, I was an iPhone 7, I believe. Like, I just started with an iPhone, and it was the do we swear on this show? Is this PG?
You just live your life.
It was a shit show, man. Like, it was so bad. Like, it's funny because I go back and watch some of the videos, even some of the guests, like trying to get guests on Facebook. I was one of the first guys. I remember one of our first videos when we were able to figure out how to do like a dual guest on an iPhone where you could barely see them in the corner, but and it like they were having issues and I was having issues and I couldn't hear them and it was terrible quality. But it didn't matter. People just started showing up watching it. And I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to keep doing it. And literally my first about 100 episodes were all done from my iPhone. Like I didn't have a mic. I didn't have a good camera. It was just done from the iPhone because that's what I had. And I was just like, I didn't know any better. And I'm just like, I don't even know if people are going to watch this. So I'm going to start putting out content. And I did. Like, and then of course we added a few things. Now we've got mics, we've got cameras, we've got different things, but it all started with just like, hey, I want to put out great content and I'm literally just going to start. So,
but that's
what I started with.
That's one of the themes, dude, that I hope everybody hears on this, you know, and for people that are unfamiliar with Shred Media, I want you to break down kind of what that is and what the place is in the industry and how you saw that when you were just going the LO life back in the day. But like, you just got to start. You just got to start. Like, turn the camera on and start. Man, that there's nothing truer than that, because now, you know, fast forward, you know, look at Shred Media today. So you're trademarked, which is epic. And what did you see for Shred Media in the industry as you kind of, you know, what did you have the vision for what it would be in the beginning? Did it grow as you're like, wow, this is taking on a life of its own? You know, give everybody the story there.
Yeah, so I started Shred Media just over a year ago in beginning of 2019, and I was kind of looking to pivot from the daily LO life. Like we were doing great things, but we really didn't have our place, and we had, to be frank, to be honest, like we weren't monetizing. I was still just originating. To this day, people ask all the time, like, wait a minute, do you still originate? No, I do not originate. I still have my license. I have an active license. I still get a ton of referrals from this. People ask all the time, do you still get referrals? All the time. It's amazing. Like just putting out content, like how many referrals I get, and we pass those along to our great team, and they're the ones in the trenches who are doing it. But about a year ago, as I was doing the daily LO life, I was kind of looking for a way to continue to put out more content. This is what I enjoy. I love putting out content. I love streaming. So I started looking around, and I'm like, well, I wonder if we did some type of media agency or some type of media company, but I didn't know like what. Like I didn't know if you could even make money doing it. I didn't know if we could make money as an organization. Like I just knew I had to take care of my family. And so what we did is we were sitting around playing with names, and Shred, being a snowboarder coming from Utah,
hold on.
Shred was always
like, hey, what's this guy in Utah using my surfing term, like my Cali term, bro? He totally took it, and then I got it with the snowboard. I got it later, but at the beginning, I was like, hey, bro, you know, you're taking Cali's term here. You know, careful. But now, you know, okay, respect.
Dude, it's funny. So we love surfing here in Utah. Like we have our boat, and we love to shred. And we had kind of played with the name. And I have a terrible, terrible habit of buying URLs and domains. I have hundreds of URLs and domains.
You're like
really bad.
No one knows. How many do you own? How many URLs?
Legit, probably just over 200, I believe, is what we have now. So
you for sure have a problem.
It's so bad. Like it's just like I'll think of a name and I'm like, I want that. I'm gonna go buy it. And like my wife, we're literally looking at like our GoDaddy and some of our accounts, and she's like, "What in the world? Like, are you ever gonna use this domain?" And I'm like, maybe. Like I'm like a hoarder when it comes to URLs. It's really bad. But anyway, so Shred. I was kind of playing with names, and I'm like, Shred, show up, hustle, repeat every day. And it's literally funny that we're saying this because we were having this argument last night. Not argument, but we were laughing because one of our friends was like, where did you come up with Shred? And I'm like, oh, well, we're just sitting around. Like, and I came up with it. My wife's like, wait a minute, I was part of this. Like, give me some credit. Like, my wife's like, hey, I was there. Like, I was throwing the. I'm like, okay, so I got to give my wife some credit too, because she helped with show up, hustle, repeat every day. And next thing I know, like Shred Media was born, and we just started putting out content. And literally the next thing I know, we have people reaching out to us just because we're out there. Like we're just putting out content. Companies are reaching out to us saying, hey, can you help us with this? Can you help us with marketing? Can you help us with this and this and this?
You're a modern marketing agency almost, because you're in the space where everyone is and leading the way.
Yeah. So we have companies reaching out to us saying, hey, can you do marketing? Can you do PR? And I didn't want to go down that road. So I had literally just read the book. Is it behind me? I don't know where it is. Play Bigger. Have you ever read the book Play Bigger?
Oh no, I heard of it. I haven't read it yet. Now it's on my list.
Awesome book. Absolutely read it, guys. If you're listening to this, I read the book Play Bigger, and basically it talks about becoming a category king or creating a category. And I'm like, again, I didn't want to be a PR firm. I didn't want to be a marketing agency. Like I'd seen those, and like the marketing agencies, no offense, but a lot of marketing agencies within the mortgage industry were just like, they didn't get it. Like they totally, like they were trying to come in and they didn't see what I did.
Totally agree.
And so I'm just like, I want to do something different. So I coined the phrase attention impact agency. And I'm like, people need attention. Like that's what they want. They're craving attention, but that attention has to have impact with the audience. So we became an attention impact agency. And when I put that out there, it literally, like the phone just started ringing like, hey, we heard you're an attention impact agency. We're not even sure what you do, but can you help us? And I'm like, sure, well, we can figure it out. So like next thing I know, we have companies reaching out to us. So like some of our partners are, I mean, UWM, Caliber, Home Point Finance, like big companies started reaching out to us saying, hey, we need your help. Can you help us? And I was honored. I was humbled. And then we started putting together strategies and plans, and then started working with them, putting out great content for them. And that's what we do. That's what, as an attention impact agency, we were helping companies do. And now I'm excited, like you and I were talking about pivoting, is we've had so many people across the industry, mortgage originators, LOs, saying, well, Josh, you work with these big companies. Can you work with us individuals? So we've talked about it a little bit, but we're releasing the Shred Squad, and it's designed for, I'm still an originator at heart, Alec. Like I always will be. I love helping the people who are in the trenches. We have a lot of people asking like, can you help me put out good content? Like, can you guide me through that? What does that look like? Just like you and I are talking about right now, where do you start? How do you build? When do you start building? And just really the strategy and the tactics. I'm all about trying something. And if it doesn't work, tweaking it a little bit and just keep putting out content. So the Shred Squad is, we're getting ready to release it on a completely different platform than this industry has ever seen. Like it's totally like there's nothing that has ever been done in the industry like this. So we're excited. But when it comes to putting out content,
what it's going to be. Yeah. So, is this something for LOs that they can independently kind of, sign into, register, be a part of?
Yep.
And
100%.
When they get into the squad, what happens? What's their experience, or what are you providing?
So when you get into the squad, I like that squad mentality. It's, hey, when you join a squad, and going back to military, a squad is your family. It's the people that you can expect and rely on. They've got your back. They're going to be protecting you. There's none of this. If you're part of the squad, there's no backbiting. There's no fighting. Like you call each other out when you need to call each other out, and you're going to go on a mission. Your squad is the people you're about to run into the line of fire with.
Yes.
So you know that they are there for you no matter what, especially when shit gets real, when shit gets tough. They're the ones behind you saying, Alec, you got this, dude. Like, hey, let's work through this together. Let's have a conversation. Yes. So that's what the Shred Squad is all about. Plus, we teach you how to do it. We teach you how to put out great content, how to create, where to start. What does your niche look like? How do you start to put out content around that niche? What equipment are you starting with? Like, StreamYard is a great, me and you both use StreamYard, but use OBS, but most people don't start there. Most people just start with their phone. But with technology...
Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of people, I've been getting so many questions, Alec, and you've probably seen this. Facebook just went through a huge update on their Facebook Live.
Yes,
so my inbox has been flooded like, hey, Josh, I can't do live anymore. And if you didn't know, you actually have to be approved for doing guests on Facebook Live, depending on your page. So there's a lot of questions out there, and that's what we want. We want to guide people through that process. We want to help you as an individual get that attention and have impact with your audience. So we created a squad around it. We created a community specifically designed on helping you grow your brand, get more attention, make sure that attention has impact with your audience. So it's going to be a ton of fun, man. Super excited.
First of all, congratulations on pivoting. And I'd love to break this down into, for our salespeople out there, because we're all having to pivot. I mean, I'm doing my podcast live now, as opposed to in the studio, fist bumping. You're pivoting to a squad that can directly help originators. And we've got originators who are working from home, sheltering in place. Amazon is sold out of, the Logitech cameras. You can't get them.
Crazy.
And it's wild, and people are like, I ordered my camera, but I don't know. And I'm going on. And, everyone's kind of learning the new normal. And I think we're fundamentally as an industry changed because of this, and not just our industry. I think our country is, but man, I mean, talk about a sales guy or gal who is used to going out and going to networking events, hosting, lunch and learns, hosting first-time homebuyer seminars, meeting with realtors, going out and to open houses. And now it's like, what do I do? And everyone's stuck staring at social media and staring at their phones and hiding from their kids in the bathroom. I know maybe not you, but there's some people who are hiding in the restroom with their phones, locking the door. And so, what encouragement and what kind of advice would you give, Josh, for the RLOs out there who are stuck at home? What would you tell them to do?
The biggest thing I would tell them, because you and I were talking about this, Alec, is you have to decide if you actually want to put out content. And I'm all about, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Like you have to even doing this, you and I, we've done plenty of these, but it's not something I don't look at myself on camera and I'm like, oh man, I look good. Like, this is awesome. I'm totally comfortable. Like, it's still uncomfortable. Every time I go on a live or I get invited to do something like that, there's still that sense of a little bit of uncomfort, and you have to be willing to push yourself outside those limits a little bit. But at the same time, if you do a couple of videos and it is absolutely you don't enjoy it, you absolutely
check your audio cord. I think it's I'm getting a little bit of feedback on you. I'm double checking that. I think it's on your side.
Hold up.
You sound like you're mixing and robotic. It's epic. Hey, if you're listening right now, let me know. Are you guys hearing the same audio feedback I am? This is the benefit of live. Because I'm texting my guy who's helping me put this show on right now, and I'm like, is it our audio, his audio? So drop a quick comment in if it's you're seeing it too, or if it's just on my side, and then we'll keep rolling.
So I just got it back from, because I have my team on it. They say it sounds good. Let's see.
Good, let's rock and roll, dude. I got same feedback, so we'll just rock.
Okay, cool. All right, so making sure I say my team just texted me. She's like, "No feedback, you're good." And I'm like, "Okay, sweet. As long as we sound good." Sometimes it's funny because as a host, this is a perfect example, Alec, and I'm glad this even happened, because sometimes as a host, sometimes you have really bad audio and you're like, "Oh my gosh, I'm freaking out. Like, we're live. People are going to be judging me." We're still doing this, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't going to stop us. We're going to figure it out. We got to adjust on the fly. Some people, this would totally kill them, and they'd lose track of their now I can hear what you're talking about, though. Funny enough, I can hear that feedback that you're talking about. So that's really interesting that I can hear it now. But again, this is a great, ladies and gentlemen, Alec and I have done how many of these? We have tech issues. It still happens. You just work through it. Most of you probably can't even hear this feedback that Alec and I can. Totally okay. Don't worry about it. Just work through it. So I would tell everybody, going back to kind of what I was saying, is if you put out a few videos and it's totally not for you, that's okay. I had this guy send me this message the other day saying, "Josh, you've inspired me. I tried putting out videos, but it's just not for me. Can you give me any inspiration?" And I asked him, I'm like, "Well, how many videos have you put out?" And he said, "Well, I put out 4 videos. First and foremost, 4 videos, you got to put out more than that. You've got to you've got to." And I even told him, I said, "Well, is it more that you don't like doing it, or is it hard for you because you're putting out videos and you're seeing that, maybe not a ton of people are watching?" And he said, "That's it, Josh. I want more people to watch what I'm doing." And I said, "Dude, it takes."
Let me add to that, dude, because you're so right. So look, I'll be super transparent mode right now. Right now on LinkedIn, there's around 10 people watching. On YouTube and Facebook, there's 22 eyes on the screen right now. And somebody might say, well, that you're talking 35 people right now that you're talking to. And that's not a huge reach. And I'm like, you guys don't understand. When this content continues to roll through, the world, I routinely get thousands and thousands of views on this stuff over time. And it's not about this moment that you and I are having this conversation. This conversation will exist in perpetuity for people to continue to engage with. We're going to re-release the audio of this on the podcast later. So somebody who's not watching live can and then subscribe to the podcast will get it. People don't understand. I coached the LOs yesterday. I'm like, film the video live as if it's just a pre-recorded video, as if it's a video you're going to post later, and watch what happens. So you are 100% right, dude. That is such the perspective I think everyone needs to have. And look, we just jumped up to 40 views. So this is, you got to have the long-term perspective, man. You're nailing it.
Well, and that's just the thing, Alec, is everybody watching this right now. And it's funny because some people will watch some people in our industry. There's people putting out content. You look at guys like Barry Habib or Dave Savage or Anthony Casa, and people are like, holy cow, they have hundreds of people watching them live. Congratulations. They've you know what? They've done a great job. Like, but you can't compare yourself to them. Like, they started somewhere and they built up. They have a very loyal following. And that's what you have to do, is you have to start somewhere and build that loyal following. I'm the same way as you, Alex. Sometimes I'll jump on and sometimes I'll have 10 people watching me live across all my channels. And I'm totally okay with that. Sometimes I'll jump on and I'll have a couple hundred watching me live across the channels. So you cannot judge what you're doing just by that, especially when you're getting started. Like, yep. I put out content because I love putting out content. I don't care if 10 people watch it. I don't care if 1,000 people watch it. I love putting out content. I'm putting out valuable content to try to, because even if only 10 people watch it, but 2 of those people you inspired, or as an originator, if 2 of those people who watch are like, oh my gosh, I connect with Alec, this guy is brilliant, I'm going to follow his content religiously. There you go. And next time they come around to buying a home or refinancing, those 2 more clients that you didn't have before. Like, we have to stop over analyzing our numbers, especially all you who are just getting started. You can't compare yourself to other people. You can't compare yourself to myself or even Alec, because we've been doing this. Alex put out hundreds of videos. I've put out hundreds of videos. And so you've got to give yourself time to grow. Most people, like, there's a huge opportunity right now to be doing this stuff. And I tell people, now's a better time than ever. And if you have the mentality of like, well, there are so many people doing it right now. Oh my gosh, Josh, I see originators in this group like putting out content. Like, there's no more room. Shut the hell up and do it. Like, please stop saying that. Like, stop making excuses. If you look at the world of gaming, ladies and gentlemen, there are tens of thousands of gamers putting out content. And there are still people jumping into putting out new content. Like, you just got to start putting out content.
We got to talk about that. We got to talk about that as an analogy, into our world. So everyone that doesn't know what Twitch is, hasn't been paying attention. There are people live streaming their own like gameplay video games. I mean, some people don't know this. So I'm just going to, they're on social media, they're on Twitch, they're reposting to YouTube, et cetera. And they're just screencasting and live streaming themselves playing a video game. Josh, do you know how much that industry is worth right now?
Oh, billions, man. Billions
of dollars of kids and some adults playing video games. And we're sitting over here afraid to put a message out to our community and our homeowners and our potential home buyers about how to navigate this crazy time. We're sitting back in fear. You nailed it, dude. Fear is what's crippling the best of the best to get out in front of the camera. Fear of, candidly, bullshit. Fear of their own insecurities, how they look. I mean, Gary Vee. So I love Gary Vee. He's been a major, inspiration to a lot of people. And he's like, do all this stuff, and then no one's doing it, and he's like, oh, you're afraid. I get it. And now he's kind of trying to unpack that as a message. And I think that's holding so many great people back because they have such amazing stories to tell, and they're afraid. And so, how did you deal with that? How did you conquer fear in that regard?
Dude, continuing showing up, hustling, and repeating every day. Like, that's shred. Like, I literally just had, and trust me, because a lot of people ask, well, Josh, you're super confident, you're enthusiastic. Like, I battle my demons every single day too. Like all the rest of you, like, I overanalyze my numbers. Sometimes I overanalyze a video. I'll put out a piece of content that I think is going to get thousands of views, and it will only get 20 views. And like, I mentally, I trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I know what you're going through. And that's why I wanted to build a squad, because building a brand, putting out content is hard. It's frustrating. Yeah. It can be depressing at times. So you have to have that squad mentality of like, hey, Alex having a bad day, I'm going to jump in the squad because I know somebody's there. They can pick me up. They can say, hey, it's all right. Like, can you get through this? So, I mean, you have to have that mentality. Like, you really do. And again, for all those who are listening, I apologize now because I can't hear the audio, and I have had a few people text me like, hey, we are having audio issues. So I apologize. I'm not sure. I just tried to reset my mic on this side, but we're going to push through it. Again, we push through it. We adapt, we overcome, we improvise. But
so let me share this on top of Josh's thing. I want to get to Omar's question in a second. So let's pull that off because it's a great question into tactics. I think sometimes too, and Omar, this is not necessarily reflected at you, but I think sometimes people get afraid, like, if I don't have the nice mic, if I don't have the right camera or the right lighting, and they use that as an excuse not to contribute and post content. So that's probably not you, Omar, but for those that is, like, you got to get away from that. Josh did all this stuff on an iPhone. Don't worry about that. But, I do want to unpack the fact that you're going to have roadblocks. You're going to have things that come up that stop you. You're not going to have time. You're going to have, these excuses are rampant. Even right now, right? Like, my wife, God bless her, she's homeschooling like a 6 and an 8-year-old. Like, she didn't sign up to be a homeschooler. we can't go in the office. We can't go anywhere. I'm locked in my garage. It's a new world. And there's lots of excuses on why or what could hold you back. And the more you lean into that, just recognizing you're going to have to overcome it. And here's the thing I want to say, Josh. This is why I think I connected with you on like a spiritual level early on, because the fact that show up has been kind of a theme for, it's obviously part of Shred. In 2000 and something, 10, 12, I can't even remember. I ran a campaign for my salespeople called Be There. And it was just literally, you got points to like go to open houses, we did points just to show up, like literally just to be there. And then when I launched our Modern Learning Playbook, my whole campaign was show up and evolve. Like just show up, like just be where the people are. And that's where I think that's where all the growth is. That's where the opportunity is. It's just you being present and being willing to step forward. And I think I've just connected with you on that, because that's been a part of your theme, and that's been part of my theme. And I've been like, dude, we have a shared bond in that. Just get out and get where the people are. So, hey, Omar, let's put a question up there, because it's a really good one. And we got a few minutes and we should talk about it. Because
so real quick, going back to show up, I want to talk.
Yeah, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you show up, you're ahead of 95% in the industry. Truly. Yes. Just showing up.
I know. It's the truth. It's the truth.
All right, throw that question back up there, because that's a good question.
Actually, no, I got a story now. Hold on.
Oh, okay, go.
So I'm 23 years old, and I was told by my mentor at the time to just go out and meet agents at open houses and at broker previews. Like, just go out, like just meet them, say hi, shake their hands, drop your business card off, just go out and say hi. And I was like, okay, whatever you say. And this is 2003, when everyone was like refinancing the world. And I'm just like, I was told to go hang out with realtors. So I went out. And I remember this realtor who's still kicking serious ass in Orange County. This guy named Don Abrams runs his own brokerage. I owe so much to this man. He's a major agent, does tons of business. And on Thursday, he had a broker preview open house. So I walk in, in my suit, and he's on like the Balboa Island. He's like, dude, you can't wear a suit here. Like, this is like, what are you doing? And I'm like 23, like scared to death. And I'm like, Don, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Alec. He's like, great. I leave. Next day, he has another listing, Friday. So I go to that one, hey, Don, Alec. And I'm like, yeah. Saturday, another listing. I show up. Sunday. So 4 days in a row. He's at an open house. And, I try to be sensitive on open house days because there's people and customers. But I walk in and I'm like, Don. And he looks me dead in the face. And he's like, Alec, are you going to come to every single one of my open houses? And I'm terrified. Like, I have massive call reluctance, fear of rejection. Like, all my insecurities are like right here. And he's like, are you going to come to every single one? And I'm like, oh God, this is it. This is the moment. And I go, I like squeak out like, yeah. Like, is that okay? And he laughed. He gave me grace. And he said, it took my last loan officer 2 years to earn my business. Keep showing up. Took me 6 months. 6 months. 6 months of showing up every day. On a weekend, one day he calls me and he goes, hey, I'm sitting with the Johnsons. I can't remember who. They want to buy one of my listings. Can you do a pre-qual right now on a Saturday? And I was like, I've been waiting for this moment, Don. Like, tap, I'm in. Let's rock. And like, dude, showing up. It's the game. That's the game. Okay, you want to talk? You want to talk hardware for a sec for Omar?
Yeah, we totally jump on that question. That's a good question.
All right. So he asks, on the tech front, could you give us some good recommendations on hardware, mics, cams? We know the limited supply. Any other places to look besides Amazon and eBay? So I got some answers for this. Josh, why don't you share your perspective?
Yeah, when it comes to, if you're just getting, Omar, going back to what I was talking about earlier, if you really are like, hey, I want to put out good content, I want to put out quality content, then again, I want everybody to know you don't have to spend money. You can start. I started with my iPhone. To this day, I actually still use my iPhone for some of my videos because it's great. It's great quality. But if you're going to get a camera, like, it is really hard to find a camera on, especially a decently priced camera on like Amazon, like Logitech. Some dude, I don't know if you heard this out, but some dude out of China bought all the Logitech cameras. Like, he saw this trend. That's where they're all at. Like, this dude, legit. Yeah, legit. Like, we did a bunch of research. This guy out of China bought a ton of them, and now he's basically like selling them for twice as much. Like, you can find them out there. And this guy's one of them. I'll post the guy's name because I've been trying to get people not to buy from this guy because it's so messed up that he did it. Anyway, side story. So starting with a Logitech camera, there's a couple other great little cameras out there. Like my camera right now, I'm running the Canon EOS 90D. Like it's a 4K camera. It's way above what you will ever need, but we do a lot of content. So that's what we use. And our setup is not easy. Like I have an HDMI cable running into an Elgato capture card. So it gets complicated, but simply go buy a webcam. Most laptops have a great webcam. Here's the thing too, is Facebook just barely starting allowing you to even do 1080p video. For the longest time, they were only allowing me 720. And most cameras only run 720 anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. So you don't have to worry about it. 720 is still great quality. Like, don't worry about the quality. The people will come and again, as you continue to put out more and more content, then yes, you probably need to upgrade it. But again, for most LOs, most originators, $100 camera, a $50 camera. I think the Logitech, what is it, the C920 or whatever it is, or the L920, whatever it's $60, and it's a fantastic camera. I promise they're going to come back on the market. We've actually had conversations with Logitech. We have a very good relationship with them, so their cameras are going to be coming back. Stay tuned for it. And then my favorite mic to buy is the Blue Yeti microphone. It's $149. USB. It is a USB connected. Like, it is the best microphone to start with. Like, bar none. You can adjust the sound quality. It, like you mentioned, Alec, it's a USB mic. So if you're starting with in my opinion, audio is way more important than video, especially when you're starting. That was the one mistake I wish I would have. We started with the Blue Yeti. I have one over here behind me. Start with good sound quality because I think, in my opinion, everybody should have a podcast. And like both Alec and I do, is every video that I do, I strip the audio and I put it into a podcast form too. Yep. So you can put it on iTunes, you can put it on Buzz. I use Buzzsprout to basically put it out to all the different podcasting. So audio is way more important than video. People are always like, no, video. No way. Like, audio is way more important. People listen to audio. Again, if you're at the gym, I know none of us go to the gym right now, but when we all go back to the gyms, like, I listen to podcasts when I'm working out. You don't really watch YouTube when you're working out. You just listen to a podcast. So if you're starting to put out content, audio is big. It's strip that audio out and turn it into a podcast.
Even if people have their YouTube up or something up on a tab, while they're doing emails and working, and they're not even looking at the video, they're just listening to the audio. So you're nailing it. Audio is crucial in this day and age, and you can't skimp on the price for a good mic. And I second the Yeti. I use it at home. I use it everywhere. They're incredibly good, and they're not that expensive, candidly. And they don't require you do have technical skills. You just plug it in, and you're rocking. Omar, the other question on best places to look. I'm scanning, Target, Walmart, BH Photo, all those kind of retailers online that we used to go to Amazon for. I think everyone's finding, by the way, this is so funny. Like, now that people are so pissed that Amazon is takes 2 weeks to deliver now. They're like, oh, I used to have it Prime and get it in an hour, and now they're just having to send ventilators to save humans, and I'm mad. I can't get it tomorrow. But go to Target, get it tomorrow from Target. It's one of those things that I just find so freaking hysterical.
Dude, this is the mentality of our industry, though. Like, it's so bad. Like, Amazon shot themselves in the foot because they created this expectation of 2 days. Like, you can get anything in 2 days. Like, and now the world is mad because it took 6 days. And it's like, that's still so fast. Like, guys, stop freaking out. Like, it's just baffling to me.
Yep. And so here's my question. You mentioned podcasting. And you said everyone should have a podcast, which of course immediately people's heads fall off and they're like, I can never do it. It's too much. But I want you to share why. I want you to share where to go. How did you learn how to do a podcast? And really I'm a local LO. I do 30 million a year, which is awesome. You're doing God's work right now, but you're telling me to have a podcast? Like, why? I want your insight. I want you to share it.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, if you're starting a podcast, I've watched trends. Again, I have watched so many trends outside of our industry, in marketing, in sales. I mean, just in gaming, like I've just watched so many other trends happen. And if you have watched the trends, and again, don't get mad at the messenger. I'm just over in China. What they've done with podcast is mind boggling. They have hundreds of millions of podcasts, and we're just starting to scratch the surface of a couple million podcasts. People think they're like, oh, well, everybody's got a podcast these days. Great. And now, as a matter of fact, they don't. If you look at Buzzsprout, if you look at a lot of the iTunes, yes, they're popping up, but again, there's some targeting that you can do, and you can utilize your podcast locally in your local community that people will listen to it. And it is so cheap to have a podcast right now. It's basically free. You get an audio, you can even use your iPhone. You can literally record an episode on your iPhone and you can put it out on a podcast. But here's why. I started a podcast because I saw the trend, and now our podcast has grown exponentially over the last few months, just because people are listening. You hear great guys like Gary Vaynerchuk talking about that. And like you said, I'll be sitting here doing some work, and I'll have YouTube up in the background, and I'll be listening to audio. We're a very audio-driven society. We listen to it. I mean, look at Alexa. You can't see what's going on Alexa. Like if you use Alexa or if you use Google Home or whatever you use, it's all audio. Yeah. So
listening.
I mean. Yeah, people are listening right now. Everybody's listening. CIA is listening to us right now. That's a whole nother topic. But so no, literally, people are listening to you. So and here's the other thing too, to be honest, Alec, is people are more comfortable doing audio than they are video, which I don't know why. I don't get it, but some people are so uncomfortable on camera. Let me kind of pop your little bubble right now, because believe it or not, you look the exact same on camera as you do in real life. So if you actually meet people in real life, holy shit, people you look the same. It baffles me when I have originators say, they're like, well, I feel uncomfortable on video. I'm like, well, do you meet clients in person? They're like, yeah. Then I'm like, I'm totally baffled because you look exactly the same on camera as you do in person. So I'm missing something here. So if you don't feel comfortable,
same thing, especially you bring a stunt double in for your face-to-face customer applications.
Yeah.
Stunt person. No.
Yeah. It's like, hey guys, bring in the double. We're going to set up a quote right now. We're going to bring in the double. Hold on just a sec, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to switch out. No, you do it video. So anyway, sorry, we digress. Audio, people listen to it. Like I said, it's so easy to get good audio and good quality audio right now, and putting it on a podcast. So part of the squad, we actually walk you through how to set up a podcast, where to start. There's a lot of, you can use Libsyn, you can use Buzzsprout. I use Buzzsprout because it's so simple. Anything, there's a learning curve, but again, we can help you with it. I know, Alec, this is something that you've done, but why? Let me kind of give you, I want to get tactical, because some of you are probably asking, why would I do a podcast? You can connect with people in your local community. Imagine this, just real quick. So let's say you got a real estate agent, because that's everybody. We're so one-track minded, and we think about real estate agents. Let's say Alec's a real estate agent. He's having an open house. What if you went to Alec and said, hey, let's do a podcast about your open house. Let's talk about not only the open house that you're having, but let's talk about the local restaurants. Oh my gosh, let's bring one of the local restaurant owners in, and let's have him on the podcast as well, talking about hey, during the open house, they're offering 25% off to come and actually do a quick open house for that restaurant as well. So now people are going to come to the open house. They can go a block down the road to the local bakery that they're on the podcast as well. That's a win-win. You have to look at things like opportunities like that. That's tactical shit right there. I just gave you an idea that you can implement, that now you're valuable to that real estate agent, because I guarantee they haven't done that with any other originator, but now you're putting them out there. You just partner them with another local business where now they can collaborate together. Again, you're bringing like-minded people together. That's all on a freaking podcast.
Here's the thing that you're echoing, or that I want to echo. Your reach goes up. You interview and talk to those people. They share with their community. I mean, you're doubling and tripling and exponentially pushing your reach out for free.
100%.
For free.
Dude, it's crazy to me. The fact that people are like, well, what do I talk about on a podcast? Here's the thing. You and I have been going for almost 40 minutes now. And I tell people, when you first start, don't try to go 40 minutes. Don't even try to go 30 minutes. My live show, Daily LO Life, I shot for 15 minutes. Like, again, us as humans, we have very, very short. Yeah, we short attention spans, first of all. Number two, like, if you're trying to put out long form content, you have to work your way up to it. Like, again, both you and I, when you were doing your 100-day video challenge, I think you were doing like 2-minute videos, right?
Yep. 2 to 3 minute, 4-minute videos were long. That was it, because I didn't know they were quick hits.
Yeah, that's just it. So people are asking themselves, like, Josh, I can't do a podcast. I can't sit for 30 minutes and talk to somebody. It doesn't have to be 30 minutes long. Like, if Alec is a real estate agent and I'm bringing in the real or a local business owner or a local bakery or a local restaurant, that's right there, just introducing themselves. Alec can introduce himself. Hey, I've been a real estate agent for how long? I'm with this company. Talk about the house. There's a couple of minutes. Now, the local restaurant owner, talk about them, why they started a restaurant, the food that they have. Hey, we're offering a 25% discount during this time. If you come to this open house, like that's 10, 15 minutes right there. And again, here's the thing that I see originators making the mistake is they think this show has to be about them. Alec, my brand and my show has been built around other people, great people like Alec. Like you take yourself out of being you have to be the expert in mortgage, but you don't have to be the center of attention. Other people love when you stroke their egos. Like, focus on Alec, focus on their other restaurant person. You may say 30 seconds of content, but you're the one who initiated it. So people see you as that expert. Like, this, guys, this is the stuff that is actually going to change your world.
It's such a no-brainer. I mean, here's how I want to compliment what you're saying. So one of the first books that I was thrown in my face as a young sales guy was How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? Dale Carnegie, classic book, super aged and old, but super relevant all the time. If you don't have to have the content, if you just ask people to talk about themselves, they will talk forever about themselves. And exactly, Josh, what you said, if you ask them to introduce themselves, let's say it's a local restaurant, which they're all struggling. They're all struggling right now. They can't open. They're doing takeout. They're trying to be creative. And you get the owner on the podcast, you talk to him, you go, when did you start the restaurant? What's your favorite dish there? How are you managing this COVID insanity? And how can people help you? That's 40 minutes. Like, those 4 questions will consume 40 minutes of conversation while this business owner explains how they're trying to save people's jobs, their employees' jobs, their cooks and their waitresses and their staff, and how they're trying to, support their community. And the whole time, all you got to sit there and do is just this. Yeah, tell me more. Just, oh, tell me more. And it's all, you just got to do it.
You do, like, simply, and that coming back to that, Alec, like, you just have to do it, because people, I guarantee there's somebody watching this show right now like, oh, well, I can't do that. You can. You literally, like, let's just talk about worst case scenario. So let's say you do this. You reach out to Alec. You say, hey, I hear, you're a real estate agent. You're doing this open house. I don't even know if people can do open houses right now, but let's just say, let's just talk about, there's no open house. Let's just say, hey, Alec, let's have you on the show. Let's talk about our local community. So you're a local real estate agent. I want to have you on my podcast. And hey, where's your favorite place to eat? Oh, you love to eat at In-N-Out down the road. I couldn't think of anything else. And In-N-Out sounds delicious to me right now. So hey, let's reach out to the local manager. Speaking of, total side note, this is actually how I did. There was a run from 2016 to 2015, 2017, where I did all the In-N-Out had just come to Utah, and I reached out to one of the managers and I said, hey, let's do a show talking about it. Like, that's when I was first getting into all this stuff. I did that. I won the business of every chain inside of Utah. I did almost every loan for In-N-Out employees for years, and doing something just like this.
Mikey, that's one of our clips right there, dude. That's so gold. That's so gold. All you did was interview the In-N-Out guys, and you got their business.
Dude, I literally was doing In-N-Out. It's funny because me and another real estate agent, like, we were doing those like, it was they just came to us. Like, we became the local In-N-Out mortgage people. Like, just because I did an interview with them, I'm like, hey, let's talk about In-N-Out, why they're coming to Utah, like, why it's good timing for that. And dude, that provided me millions, tens of millions of dollars of business over the next couple of years. All over a simple interview. So anyway, going back to this, like, if there's not an open house,
I'm just like hanging. It's so easy, dude. And I don't want to downplay, anybody's hard work here. Like, I don't want to, like, I'm not trying to crap on anybody and be like, it's so easy to get loans. Like, all you have to do is interview the In-N-Out guy. But sometimes it is that easy. Like, sometimes you just showed up and I can't.
It's
Dude.
just
Sometimes.
and you may be thinking like, well, I can't do that. But why can't you? Like, yes, you can. Like, it truly is just a decision you have to make in your head if you're willing to. Like, you have to be uncomfortable. If you want to grow, your business, especially in times right now. I love the comment by Bob Guertin. Sorry, Bob, probably slaughtered your last name, but you have to think outside the box. It's outside the box thinking right now. That's what you have to do. Like, that's literally, and this is these ideas that Alec and I are giving you right now. This is outside the box thinking. You have to be willing to execute on it. Like, showing up is just part of it. And that's why it's show up and hustle. Like, now you showed up. Now you actually have to go do something with what we're giving you. And everybody can.
Here's the thing, guys, everybody listening, you get better. Like, it's a skill. No one likes lifting weights in the beginning. Like, no one likes it. No, you're terrible at it. No one likes working out in the beginning. And we all know the truth. It's a skill. You get better and you get more confident. And you get more relaxed and everything improves. But if you don't start, you never see the benefit of that.
Perfection comes through practice. Like, I tell everybody, your first video is going to suck. I'm sure you've gone back and watched some of your first interviews, Alec, and like some of your first videos. Bad.
I don't even bring that into my life anymore. I'm free. That's the past. I'm looking to the future. Like, that's just...
But all of you can do it. Don't expect your first video to look like this. Like, Alec's done a great job and built it over time. Your first video, like, people are they want to see you. And here's the thing, and you've heard it before. It's so cliche, but people think about you a lot less than you think they think about you. Like, they're not thinking about like, oh my gosh, that video Alec just put out, that was garbage. That was terrible. They're just happy to see you right now. Like, people are craving attention. People are craving that, like, that relationship. You just got to put out some type of content so they see you. Like, that's it.
And I want to compliment that by saying everyone has their unique audience. There are people that like me. They like my goofiness. They like my nerdiness. They think it. So, and there's lots of people that are like, I hate this guy. Like, I don't like him. I don't think I'm not. They don't have a connection to me. And that's, you have to realize, like, your unique audience is literally waiting for you to step out into the spotlight. I always make this comment, like, as much as we try to be enlightened, we judge people. We're judging people. You're judging me right now. Not you, Josh. You love me. I know you love me. But like, like, you're judging this episode. You're judging, like, you do it all the time. You see someone on the street, you judge them immediately. And then sure, you can change your judgment and you can try. But my point is, sometimes they want to see their own people, whoever they are, come online, and then they immediately resonate. Josh, there are some people that we resonate with instantly. Right. You see them, like when I mentioned, like, our show up, similarity. It's like, I just feel like we're kindred spirits. You have that connection. So if you never show up, that whole group of people that is waiting for you, they're not going to ever get to experience you. And you need to show up for your audience. Everyone has a unique audience waiting for them.
And that, dude, I couldn't have said it any better. Show up for your audience. Here's the thing is, I see one of the mistakes I see originators trying to do is they try to put out content that attracts other originators. Why would you possibly, like, why would you ever do that? Like, what is wrong with you? And here's the thing too, is somebody, like, I'll have an originator say, oh, Josh, well, I saw this other piece of content, like, but I can't put that out because they already did. Yeah, you can. Like, one of my favorite lines is "Steal Like an Artist" by Austin. Another great book, "Steal Like an Artist" by Austin Kleon. My favorite book in the world, "Steal Like an Artist." Now, I'm not telling them plagiarize and say word for word. Like, don't be Jay Shetty. Like, don't be an idiot. Like, but if Alec does a great video and I'm connected to him as an originator, and again, he's in a completely different demographic. He's in California. I'm in Utah. I'm going to go take that video. I'm going to put it out to my audience too. I'm just going to put it in my own words. Don't overthink content. Our industry is full of great people. Like, I can think of some phenomenal people. If you don't follow Ryan Jessica Eller right now, Ryan Eller puts out some phenomenal content, like, does a great job with it. Like, there's some Andrew Cady puts out great content. Like, there's so many great people putting out content. Go follow them. Watch the videos that they put out, and then just put your own spin on it. Because again, your audience is waiting for Alec. My audience is waiting for Josh. Ivan's audience is waiting for Ivan. Omar's waiting for Bob. Like, they're waiting for you. Yep. They're not seeing the rest of the industry's videos right now. They're just waiting for you.
Dude,
just put out content for them.
That's the end, dude. That's the end of that's got to be how we wrap this down. Is they are waiting for you. So, Josh, super excited for Squad. Cannot wait. Everyone on here that is watching this not live or on a replay, connect to this guy. wait for the squad announcement drop. When is it coming? You have a date?
Yeah, May 1st.
Oh, we're here. Okay, May 1st, man. We're like on the edge of it. That's pretty cool. So
It's coming.
that's going to be an epic community of people, like-minded people trying to push themselves forward. I love that you're doing that. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for everything you do for this industry. Guys, thank you for listening and participating. If this guy, please like, share, respond, all that stuff. We love engagement. I love doing this live. I love the comments. This is going to be the new thing, the new normal. So thank you guys for hanging with us. And with that, end the show. Take care, everyone.